Hey guys, I finally get to sit down and just kind of answer some of you guys' questions that you had about our Southeast Asia trip. So basically we traveled from June to September and we went to Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, and then India. So all of June we spent in Thailand. Bangkok, we flew into Bangkok. Bangkok was awesome. I mean, it's a big city. But like it's like a shopping mecca. So if you like to shop, that's like it's an awesome place to go and hang out for a few days and just go exploring. And there's like markets. There's like the big JJ market on the weekend, which was a blast. I wish I could have spent I could spend like a week running around that place. It was like so much fun. From Bangkok we went up to Chiang Mai. I had some dental work done in Chiang Mai. You guys know I've been like wanting braces like forever, right? But definitely like the past few years I've been trying to slowly save and work for it. But there was like some pre-work that had to be done, like my wisdom teeth had to be taken out, and like I had a chipped tooth back here and like a cavity, so he had to like take care of that. So yeah, it would have been like really expensive to have that done in Hawaii because all dental work is really expensive there. But in Thailand it was like less than $500. In Hawaii it would have been more like $5,000. So that was awesome to get that all taken care of. From Chiang Mai, so we spent like 2 solid weeks in Chiang Mai. Guest houses are all over the place in Thailand, so it's really easy to find accommodations for fairly inexpensive. Our price range that we were going for was between $15 and $30 a night. So we didn't have a problem finding that at all. It pretty much worked out everywhere we went. We didn't have any like pre-booked reservations or anything anywhere. We just showed up everywhere and just got a place. So that worked out really easily. Oh, I know people had asked like how much the trip cost, like total. Well, my budget that I had laid out was about, let's see, about $2,000 a month was going to be my planned budget. From Chiang Mai, we went to Pai, which is a little kind of country town on the river, and then we took motorbike out to Mae Hong Son. It's all like northern Thailand is all very like hilly and green and lush and mountainous and beautiful mountain views. We went back down to Chiang Mai and flew to Krabi, and so we wanted to go out to the islands. So you've got like the mainland of Thailand that kind of stretches down, and then you've got the Andaman Sea on one side, and you've got the Gulf of Thailand on the other. So we wanted to hit both sides, both islands. So we went to Krabi and then went out to the Andaman Sea, and that was a really cool experience because there's Koh Phi Phi Don Island. The Phi Phi Islands, because there's Koh Phi Phi Lay also, are gorgeous, and that was one of my favorite places. Like both Michael and I would definitely like go back there in a flash. It was just such a beautiful island, and the water is so warm there. So that was a really fun experience. I definitely recommend going there. It's a popular destination, so it can get busy, especially during high season. We went during monsoon season, which was the only time that I had off of work. So it was kind of like, well, I know it's monsoon season, and I'm going to Southeast Asia. It's going to be rough in certain areas. It's going to be, flooding and whatnot. But it's kind of like, it was like a now or never kind of thing. So we just like, okay, let's just do it. So it worked out fine though. The weather was beautiful in Phi Phi Islands. So from there, oh, I should mention Krabi, we wouldn't stay there again. Krabi was really touristy. It was like tourist trap, and the people didn't seem as friendly compared to some of the other places that we were. So I wouldn't be into staying in Krabi again. Like we just use that as like a jumping off point to get out to the islands. But instead of there, like I'd fly in there and then leave right away and go stay like in Rayleigh Beach and then use that as a jumping off point to get out to the islands. So from there we went to the other side and we went to the Gulf Islands. So we went to Koh Samui, Koh Phangan, and Koh Tao. Koh Samui was really awesome. That's one of the bigger islands, and that was a lot of fun. We rented a bike and drove all the way around it. The beaches, they have some nice white sand beaches that are really pretty, and you can get in the water there. It's really nice. And let's see what else. Let's see, would I go again? Well, I definitely go to Phi Phi Islands again. Koh Samui I really liked. And then I think that's pretty much it. I wouldn't go to Koh Phangan again. I think once was enough for me. It was just like, it wasn't during, it's like famous for their full moon party, but we weren't there during that time. We were just like there, I guess before that or after that, whatever. So we missed the party, which I wasn't interested in going to anyway because I'm not much of a partier. But from there we went to Koh Tao. Koh Tao is like a popular dive island, so the prices there for accommodations were a little bit more expensive. So we were paying like $35 think maybe $35 a night, almost 40. Maybe we were paying $40 a night, something like that. I mean, they're still cheap in comparison with other places in the world, but for my budget, you know, I was having to watch that. So that was Koh Tao. Koh Samui, oh, I didn't finish explaining about Koh Samui. We stayed in Choang Beach, which is again kind of like nightlife central. Choang Beach is the biggest town on Koh Samui. So we ended up moving because we only stayed one night there. It was just like too loud, too much. So we went up to Lamai Beach, and that was really nice. So we liked that area a lot. If you're looking for a more kind of peaceful area, that's a nice one. You've got all your shopping there. You've got Tesco and whatever you need and want there. And so the place we stayed was Lamai Bay View Resort, and so it was like a bunch of little bungalows on the side of a grassy hill, and it's nice like garden, palm trees and everything. Really beautiful spot. And they have like a private beach like down below on the hill on one side, and then on the other side, and you've got a view of both. And the other side is the whole Lamai Beach, Lamai Bay. So it was just like a fantastic place. So those were the islands. After we went to the islands, we went back to Bangkok, which you can go to the mainland and take a bus up, or you can fly from Koh Samui, which we were limited on time, so we just flew from Koh Samui up to Bangkok because we were trying to get to Cambodia. So from Bangkok we wanted to go into Cambodia, so we did the Poi Phet border crossing. There's a couple different ways you can do that. You can go to like Khao San Road or Khao San Road, whatever it is, in Bangkok, the popular backpacker area, and you can just go to one of the travel agencies and they can book you a seat on a minivan that can take you across the border. So you can do that for your first time, or these days they have e-visa, so you can just get your e-visa taken care of, you know, online and not have to worry about it. It makes it like more simple when you're going across the border. We didn't have that. We just did it on our own and got the visa as we got, you know, to the border. So your first time going across the border is a little bit hectic because there's touts everywhere trying to misguide you and, you know, trying to scam and whatnot. But you know, if you just know the right buildings that you're supposed to be going to, it's no problem at all. And after you do it once, it's like a breeze. So yeah, you can just ignore all the, you know, hectic, you know, noise and people trying to grab you and stuff, and just like head straight on through where you need to go. So the border crossing was no big deal. We got our visa. It was $20, so we got into Cambodia. No problem. I think an e-visa online is like $25, maybe $27, something like that. So it's kind of same. So in Cambodia, like that was one of our favorite places. We really liked Cambodia a lot. And people asked if we felt like we were in danger at all. No, not at all. We didn't feel like we were in danger like anytime during our trip until, well, I'll get to it. I'll tell you about Vietnam. So we went to Siem Reap and then explored Angkor Wat. We spent a few days exploring Angkor Wat, which was awesome. Like if you like ruins and you like you know, the old stone structures, and like they have like the big old trees with the roots like growing through the structures and the buildings and everything. That was an awesome experience, and if you are into that kind of thing and you haven't gone to Angkor Wat, definitely go, because that was a blast. And both Michael and I agreed, like we would go back to Cambodia in a minute. We really loved it a lot there. Yeah, the people were so friendly, and oh, they have the best like dragon fruit. They have tons and tons of dragon fruit. Which in Hawaii it's like super expensive to get a dragon fruit, and there they had like entire like vendor booths like full of heaps of dragon fruit. I was just like, oh, my jaw like just dropped to the floor, like just seeing how much dragon fruit and watermelon there was, and passion fruit. They have the best passion fruit gelato in let's see, I had it in, I think, Phnom Penh too, but in Siem Reap, every day I was there like multiple times a day getting my gelato. Oh, it was so good. And it was fresh too, like freshly made. We wanted to go see the southern islands in Cambodia, but because of monsoon, it was too rainy that way, so we just decided to go to Phnom Penh and then over to Saigon in Vietnam. Saigon was the first time that I felt like, you know, like not very welcomed there, and I just felt like, I don't know, like the way that they looked at you, or looked at us anyway, it was like almost kind of like a glaring kind of look. I don't know. I just didn't have a very good feeling. I didn't feel very welcome there. So we just stayed there like for, I don't know, like 2 days or something, and we headed up north to the central coast. Also, Saigon was the first place that I felt like I needed to like wear my money belt and like on my body and not have, you know, I was nervous about being ripped off there in Saigon. But up on the central coast of Vietnam was really quite nice. We went to Da Nang and Hoi An. those were, that's like a really pretty area, pretty beaches. So that was nice to go there, and they had some great little cafes and restaurants in Hoi An. Book ahead if you're going there. We didn't book anything in advance, so we just showed up and we realized, okay, like this is a really popular area, and like everything was booked up, like all the hotels. Until we were lucky, we did find a place, and then we moved and then found a better place that had opened up the next day. So that, if you're going to Hoi An, definitely book ahead, reserve a room. And let's see, so after the Central Coast, we had wanted to go to Hawaii, but we just didn't have enough time. So we ended up going far north to Hanoi, and people had told us, watch out for the scam artists there, because it's like the lion's den of scams and rip-off artists up there. We didn't actually come across that. It seemed okay. I mean, for us, we were only there for a couple days though, and we had gone out to Halong Bay. We booked a little overnight cruise in Halong Bay, so we were barely even in Hanoi. That was just like 2 nights or something. But out in Halong Bay, Michael really wanted to go out there, so we went out there, and that was, well, I filmed all of that, so you guys got to see. There was a lot more like trash and pollution in the water there that was kind of like a bummer, because it's such a beautiful part of the earth, and to see it just kind of like trash like that was like, it just kind of like hurts, to see that. But it's just how, it's how it is in that part of the world. So it's unfortunate, but true. Other than that, we had a good time. Like, our favorite time was like going, like kayaking through this little like cave, and then it like opened up into this really pretty like lagoon type area. And also they took us to this big cave, and that was awesome to walk through. So there's definitely some fun experiences to be had there in Vietnam. So from Hanoi, we flew back to Bangkok because we had to catch another flight to India. So by now we just finished up July, we're in August.